DLC 16, my boys. It is by far one of my more hyped DLCs personally in a very, very long time due to two of the characters that we know are going to be in it. But those characters also bring me a major fear as well. And I've already made one video talking about this and talking about how these characters have such a lack of source material that it may end up being that they get 1 or 2 new skills in DLC 16. And 1 to 2 new skills on a DLC character is never good. I've said this in the past and I still stick to this till this day. 3 skills minimal for me is a good DLC character. 3 skills is what all DLC characters should have at minimal in terms of new stuff for us, not only for the character, but so we can get it for the CACs at the same time. Like, skills are a major part of DLC packs in this game because, again, it is something new not only for that character that is being added, but also our CACs as well. So in today's video, this is basically a part 2 of the video that I did about 3 weeks ago, I would like to say at this point in time, where I talked about the lack of source material, which may likely lead to the lack of skills when it comes to Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo. Now, I had been waiting for the Dokkan releases of both of these characters to see if there was anything that Dokkan actually added in and made up that they could be applied into Xenoverse 2 as well. And sadly, that really wasn't the case. Like, both Piccolo and Gohan really don't give me any kind of new hope when it comes to these Dokkan units. When it comes to Piccolo, he has 2 skills in his potential unleashed form, I guess you could say. This right here, which I think is guaranteed to be a skill in Xenoverse 2 as well. Like, this is the one skill from the movie that I looked at and was like, yeah, for sure that can be a skill in Xenoverse 2 and applied to Orange Piccolo at the same time. So we have this right here that he does in Dokkan. Then he also has like a special beam cannon, like fire version type thing. I believe he also has this in the movie. I don't know how I didn't pick up on this when I was making that video talking about Piccolo's skill set and all things like that. But this special beam cannon right here definitely can be a different version of it, similar to how Gohan's special beam cannon is going to be different in Xenoverse 2 and has been different in all other games up until this point in time as well. Like, look at this special beam cannon. It's almost like a fiery version of the original one. This definitely is nothing like Piccolo's original special beam cannon. His original one has like orange and purplish tinges, all things like that. It's a completely different color scheme. This one looks more like a prominence flash almost in the form of a special beam cannon. Like, that's the color scheme they have going, and then you got the flares of like flame almost on the outside of it, and that take over as the spiral that goes around the special beam cannon. So this is also something that I think can be a new skill. Like, honestly, in DLC 16, I think both Orange Piccolo and Gohan will have their own different version of special beam cannons in the game. Now, besides that, there is nothing else from this character that we could literally take and apply to Xenoverse 2. Like, the thing that he does in his orange form, it's just a big unga bunga gorilla walking around punching stuff. Like, that's really what my man's is looking like right here. We got this throw animation, and then this animation right here, he literally just gives Cell, you know, the hands and the feet. Kicks him a couple times, smacks his ass to the ground, which I believe that was actually a reference from Dragon Ball. Like, those 2 things right there, OG Dragon Ball, when I say that, because he actually went giant in the original World Tournament up against Goku. And both of those scenes, again, I do believe are from that fight right there. Now, he also throws this punch at the end, which I do think we may get something along those lines with Orange Piccolo in Xenoverse 2. There may be some kind of strike skill that is just a big ass punch. Like, we have something referenced right here that is a big ass punch to the finishing of this move. And then also, if you think back to when he first transforms against Gamma 2, this move could be countered as a counter as well, but basically Gamma 2 comes up to him, tries to punch the shit out of him. Piccolo just eats it completely and then throws a punch right back at him, and it was a pretty massive punch at the same time, something similar to this right here. So again, that could be a counter skill or just some kind of strike skill that they have for Piccolo in Xenoverse 2. So if they were to take all those skills right there, that would actually be 3 brand new skills for this character, which is the criteria that I think needs to be met for a good DLC character, in my opinion, at the very least. Now, when we come to Gohan, I'm not going to lie to you guys, there is nothing in this at all that really gives me hope in any way, shape, or form. Like, everything he does is something that is already a skill in Xenoverse 2, or something that is not new at all, that we kind of already expected. Like, this is just a regular ass version of a Masenko, which I will say they could do something like a Beast Masenko. I think that would be a cool made up skill if they added like a Beast Masenko, which is basically just a bigger version of it, one that does more damage but acts very similar to the Masenko that we already have in the game, just a better version of it. So there's that he does in his Dokkan unit. He also does this like throwaway key thing. I mean, there's really nothing you can do with that in Xenoverse 2. That's just something for Dokkan exclusively. He also has this right here where he does like a combo leading into a Kamehameha. Now, this is something that I think has some potential to it, to be honest, guys, as actually being a skill maybe in some way, shape, or form. Like, this may be the version of Kamehameha that they give him in Xenoverse 2, considering he does something like this in Dokkan, but he also does something like this in Legends. This is a clip that the homie Krill sent me of Beast Gohan's moveset, and he does something similar to that in Legends as well. Let's try and get to the point where he actually does. I believe this is it right here. Yeah. See how he does this like combo leading up into a Kamehameha? So that is two different mobile games where we actually see Beast Gohan do something similar to that. Well, I guess Beast in Legends and Potential Unleashed in Dokkan, since Beast is just an active skill for Dokkan, which sucks for you Dokkan players. Let me just say that right now. I don't know why they did that, but it is what it is. So again, this could be something, but at the same time, it just is a Kamehameha. So like I said, they could make a Kamehameha skill like that for Gohan, since they did it in Dokkan and Legends. They also could just give him regular Kamehameha or Super Kamehameha at the same time. Like, this is Xenoverse 2. Now, once he goes into his beast form, all he really does is the special beam cannon, which I gotta admit, they nailed the animation without a doubt. But again, nothing really new at the same time for this character. So overall, I still feel that there is a major lack of source material and stuff that they could actually make skills out of in Xenoverse 2. So I'm just hopeful, like I was before, that they actually make up some skills for these characters. Now, these are the two skill lists. I actually tweeted both of these out. These are the skills that I would potentially like to see come to both of these characters. Now, for Piccolo, I got the Flare Special Beam Cannon, and I even say like a fire version of it, pretty much what you saw in that Dokkan video. The Kinetic Rock move, of course, I do feel like out of all Piccolo stuff, that is guaranteed to be a skill in DLC 16. Some kind of Strike Super, that's a massive punch, like I talked about before. Also could be a counter. I think a move, and especially an ultimate, involving Shenron in some way, shape, or form would be honestly really, really damn cool. Like, if he had an ultimate that involved Shenron, or just a move that involved Shenron at all, I think that would be really dope, considering that this form obviously is something that Shenron gave him. Now, the fifth one that I have down is some kind of new charge or evasive. Now, evasives I feel are much easier to make than actual charge skills at this point, because I was just thinking about this before recording. What kind of charge skills could they actually add in? Like, what direction could they possibly go with a charge skill that would be different from the ones we already have in the game? Like, we have Divinity Unleashed, which is a slow startup, but once you get that bar off, you have a buff added to the amount of ki you gain. We have regular max charge. We have the two different charges. I forget their names exactly. The ones that basically, we have ultimate charge, and I forget the one that is like a quick charge where you get 2 bars of ki and then it pretty much gets extremely slow after that. But we have all those different versions. Basically, what I'm talking about is the version from Super Saiyan God Vegeta and Blue Evolution Vegeta. Those are all different types of charges that we have in the game. So I was honestly thinking, what kind of charge skill could they possibly add in? And I couldn't think of anything. So let me know down below in the comments if there is a different way that they could incorporate a charge skill without it being like extremely broken or OP. Because the first way that came to my mind was, oh, maybe charge stamina at the same time too. But if there was a charge skill that charges stamina, the game would be absolutely broken. So that would not work at all. So again, if you have any ideas, let me know down below in the comments. Now, when it comes to Beast Gohan, I said special beast cannon, or whatever the hell they're going to call it, a counter into the kick he does to Cell. That's something that I feel has to be a skill, considering there's such a lack of source material. Beast Masenko, basically a bigger, better Masenko. And then Beast Charge / an evasive, either or I'm cool with, or both. Now, again, I went with the charge or evasive because I feel those would be the two easier skills to make in some kind of way, shape, or form for these characters in terms of made up stuff. Like, it's not that hard to make up an evasive skill, I feel like. So those definitely would be something that I would not mind them doing, and I would understand why at the same time, considering again the lack of source material that these characters truly do have. But again, with the charge side of things, let me know down below in the comments how you guys think a charge skill could actually be incorporated for one, if not both of these characters. Because like I said, when I was really thinking about it, I just don't see what kind of different charge skill we could actually have applied, and it would be different from the 4 that are already used in the game at this moment in time. So overall though, man, I'm still having that fear of the lack of skills, the lack of moveset when it comes to these characters, just due to the fact that we really did not see much from the movie with these characters. And these are just skills that I'm talking about right here, guys. This has nothing to do with their combos, which is something that makes a DLC character as well. Like, having unique combos is something that makes a DLC character that much more fun and better overall. It's not the most fun when you have a DLC character that has a lot of reused combo assets and things along those lines, because it kind of feels like you're playing a character that's already in the game. So just based off of the skills, it's going to be hard for them to make up stuff and put together a decent moveset, in my opinion, just because they have not that much stuff to work with. But then when it comes to the combos, I have that same fear, because again, they really don't have that much to work with. Piccolo doesn't do that much, as I covered in that video, and then Beast Gohan, all Beast Gohan is on the screen for is that counter where he kicks Cell away, and then the special beam cannon. So I just really hope that they do these characters the justice they deserve, and honestly, I was hopeful that the Dokkan and Legends releases of these characters would give something a little bit more unique, maybe something made up, and sadly, that just was not the case when it came to these two units in Dokkan Battle. But let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Do you guys still have the same fear as me, that basically we could get DLC characters with Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan that could only have like 2 new skills apiece due to the lack of source material, as well as potentially a lot of reused combo assets as well, again, due to the lack of source material? Like, out of all the characters we've really had added in, I feel these would be the ones that I would give Bandai and Dimps the most grace on, considering they just don't have that much to work with, which is my biggest fear with DLC 16. Because like I said before, it is by far my most hyped DLC pack, just because of the characters and mainly Beast Gohan. But at the same time, it is a pack that I have a lot of fear for, just due to the simple fact we don't have that much source material. So let me know what you guys feel about this down below in the comments. Where do you stand right now? Are you worried about these DLC characters the same way I am? Or do you feel like Dimps and Bandai is actually going to come through for us and do justice to these characters? Again, let me know how you guys feel down below in the comments. But as always, man, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, hope you have a good one. Peace, y'all.